Alrighty. Okay, this is a topic that I am super into right now because I find I either have it go two ways. I either have coaches that I recruit that start and they just like go by themselves, which is like kind of how I went, or they sign up and then they just either disappear or they do it for like whatever a month or so or they don't even start running challenge groups themselves. So it's like two extremes. Like I either have somebody that'll start and sweet, they just like start flapping their wings, or they just like latch on to me forever and then eventually like quit or just don't start. And I wanted to do a call and like kind of do Q&A style and just poll each one of you and see like what are your exact steps for your recruiting like onboarding process with your coach. Like how do you go about it from like woohoo form to when they sign up, or from challenge group to sign up? Like what are your steps? Do you go through like email like whatever acceptance, like new coach training, getting started right call, like an interview form kind of type thing? I just wanted to see what if anybody's doing anything different and just to like spin some ideas off each other on new coach recruiting. Somebody's sweet little bean is upset.
Oh.
Yeah. So is that okay? Can we do like a Q&A and like you guys can like just kind of contribute? Like I can start and tell you what I do and then we can just kind of go and see if there's any other different ideas we can bounce back off each other. Is that cool?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. So when I recruit coaches, I found that my best coaches come from my challenge groups, which is awesome, but also hard because you want to recruit more often than once a month with the people you're joining. But at the same time, if they don't have that experience and they don't already see the value in Shakeology and the programs and they haven't felt that high, I find it really hard to motivate them to know like what's going on. So usually it's people from my challenge groups, and usually it takes a few months. Like I'd say like average on 2 months joining and then they join. Or 2 months in the challenge group and then they join. And so what I do is I send them a new coach interview because I want to know if they're going to run with it or if they're just discounting. I want to know right off the bat so there's no humming and hawing, or they feel bad so they just say that they're going to do it and then they don't. I don't want to waste my time. So I give a new coach interview, and then based on that I'll place them under Brandon or keep them under me, which was working great for a while, but then I just had 4 discount coaches quit under him, so that's great. And then after the interview, I have a Google Drive training, which is kind of like based off of yours, Morgs, and some other like videos and stuff that I do with like a step 1 and 2 and resources spot for them. And then I get them to like announce that they're a new coach and just go into an apprentice group with me. And and then sometimes, like I haven't done it every time, but sometimes I'll do like a week in or 10 days in, I'll do like a get started right call with them. But that's kind of how I've been doing it lately. And I just wanted to see if anybody else had any other, like a different process or anything that's really working for you. That's like every single time consistently, like this is how I onboard, this is my process and it works.
I don't think it's like every time it works, but I probably have a higher percentage of success with challengers that have done 1 or 2 challenges for sure.
Okay.
And I thought a lot about, and I have signed up a few coaches with a challenge pack right off the hop.
Yeah.
Now, that's good in theory because it's instant growth, right? Your team instantly grows. You get those Success Club points. It's a really big boom business-wise. But my only issue is to train those coaches and get them used to what a challenge group is. Chances are lots of them weren't having the opportunity to be success starters. That was not an option because that whole month they're just figuring out their challenge group, right? So they're kind of overwhelmed with, okay, I'm just trying to learn like what the 21 day fix is and like, you know, the ins and outs of my own fitness journey. And then I felt like they were only giving 50% to each. So they weren't getting the results fitness wise, and they weren't getting the results in their business. So I try not to do that now. Some people want that, and that's a different like attitude and mindset, and you can tell that person's a go-getter, but that's not the approach I go with because I know that's not how I learn. So I'm the same way. It'll be a challenger.
Yeah.
And you just have to keep track of who are your new challengers in that group. Even if they're ghosting on you and they're not posting a lot, follow up with them, chat with them, because those are the people that will become coaches. 95% of the time, those will be your coaches. So giving them extra love and attention, you're going to have lifer challengers that just want to be in your group for 15 years and just they love what you do. They have zero desire to coach, which is fine. But make sure you spend a lot of time with your new recruits because you want to plant that seed and water it. Even just something simple as thanking them. I thank every single new coach like twice a week, or new challenger, pardon me, because I'll say, thank you so much for being so positive in the group. Other girls were commenting on how much they liked your last post and you're so inspiring. They're like, oh yeah. So by the time you say, you know, I think you'd make a good coach, you've already planted that seed and they're ready to go.
Right. Okay. That's good to know because I'm finding the same and I was getting like slightly frustrated with it because I understand but that's how I started, right? I started with a challenge, but then I think back and like, Ginny, I signed up like 3 days into my challenge. I was just like, yeah, I like this. I'm going to do it. Let's just sign me up. Let's see what happens. So I think
That's what I did too.
yeah. So, and like, I guess I'm just waiting for good karma to come my way and then for people to start doing that. So anyways, in the meantime, I'll just keep hosting challenge groups and help people get awesome results and keep doing it that way. Does anybody else have any other, like, once you onboard a coach, do you have any other like funky training styles, or are people still running Facebook new coach trainings for like 7 days, 10 days a month? You are, Jen?
Yeah, I've been doing the 10-day one.
How's that going?
The last 2 months. They've been good. It's Kirsten's. I stole it from her. And
Nice.
it's really good. It's like short and sweet and it's like the basics. Like if you're a brand new coach, like that's really all you need to know at the beginning because it gets so overwhelming and I have girls that are like, I don't know what to do. And so the 10-day really broke it down like, okay, your goal is to get 3 people. These are the links because nobody knows how to get the links. And Emerald and Success Club, like those are, it's just those basics that they really need to know. I usually have, most of mine are usually challengers that sign up as coaches, but I do get some girls that are just already into fitness because I have talked to them for a while though. Like I've had a few like bikini competitors sign up, but like one of them has been following me for 2 years. Like I told her a long time ago that she should do this and she's been following me. Mm-hmm. And she actually used to use Turbo Fire when she was like younger. So she's like, oh yeah, I do love the products already. So that was nice. But yeah, I agree. It's really hard to get them going if they haven't done a challenge first. But I always try and just tell them to make that post to announce that you're a coach because people don't know you're going to be a coach. Like I'm like all over the place when I sign people up. Usually I go off their vibes though. If they're asking me a ton of questions, I'll be like, hey, let's just do a call. Like I can talk to you. I add them all into that training and I kind of just go by that. Who's more interactive because I know like when I signed up, Morgan was probably like, oh my gosh, this girl is annoying. But now she's like, oh, I guess it was worth it to answer every single one of her questions every single day. So you can kind of go by their vibe too. There's no right way. And it's funny, they were talking about this on the wall call with the Dynasty, all the top coaches, and they were saying, some people don't sign up any like coaches with the challenge pack right away. They want them to be challengers because it is so key for them to do a challenge group and understand what a challenge group is because it is tough signing them up as a coach and then the challenge group and then the links and it's overwhelming because even as a new coach, if you were in a challenge group, even I remember feeling overwhelmed and I was already in a challenge group. I knew what a challenge group was. I knew what Morgan was doing and I felt overwhelmed. So I can only imagine that new coach signing up with a challenge pack and everything being thrown at them.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Okay, that 10-day new coach training, then do you still link? You do that or whatever later, but
Sorry, you cut out. I couldn't hear what you said.
Sorry, the 10-day new coach training, is it like kind of a posted video and like all that site? Ginny, you've got one. Morgs, you run your website. Is it still cutting out?
Huh?
Are you asking, do we get them to post a video as your new coach?
Actually not hearing. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna try to speak super slowly and hope that my internet okay. Can you guys hear me?
Kind of.
Or just type it, Marie.
Okay. What is happening?
The first assignment number 1 in my new coach training is I can post. Actually, Jen, you have the template, right? You can post it in the Diamond and Diamond Plus group if you want. I don't have the template. I always use like the old group and just copy and paste it. But we can share that with you guys for sure. And basically, the first assignment is you're a new coach. This is so exciting, getting them amped up, and it's like a collage of me with all these excited faces. And it's like, you need to announce to the world that you're a brand new coach and what you're doing and why you're doing it. And like that knocks off so many big things right off the hop. It gets them out of their comfort zone first, because that's one of the biggest things. They don't do any of that stuff first. They're always like apprehensive and they wait. And I don't like having to tell other people like, hey, this new coach is on my team. And then it's like a person that quits next week. I'm like, oh, they're not on my team anymore. So it's like, if you're going to be in this, that's a really good indicator that I know who to focus my time on. If assignment 1, they've said, I'm a Beachbody coach, and then they tag me in it. I love it. I love it. So that gets so many little hurdles out of the way first.
Yeah, definitely, because a lot of people are like, oh, I need to learn all this, and then they want to make their post. It's like, no, just post, because you might have somebody message you right away and be like, hey, what are you doing? I want to do it. And then that automatically gives them confidence, and as soon as they sell a challenge pack, then most likely they're going to stay a coach for a while because they're making income. So it's so key to like really help them hit Success Club that first month so that they make some income and they're like, oh, hey, this is kind of working.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Virginia, you were on the Dynasty Wall call. I don't know if you were, Kirsten. Yeah. I might share that. I see she posted a recording. I might share it in our Diamonds Plus page because it was pretty stellar. But I've noticed the same thing, kind of piggybacking off what you said, Kirsten. I've kind of poured into my challenge groups the past couple months, like reinvigorated them, and I've had the best conversion from challenger to coach. It's like, it doesn't matter almost what content is in my challenge group. It's like, as long as I'm in there and like engaged, it's like, there's just so much better feedback. Am I echoing? No. So I've really set aside time in like my daily to-do list, like challenges have to be number 1. And how they were talking about on the call, like that's the foundation of this business, is getting people results. And I mean, even though I started not knowing what a challenge group is, the best coaches, still come from challenge groups, I think. So I've been personally spending more time in there. And when it comes to new coach training, I am going to revamp mine because I've got a lot of great ideas, just simplify it a bit more. But I've come to the conclusion that, like, let's be honest, the facts and figures don't make a difference whether they stay or not. It's more the belief. So I really want to structure my training, and like, I need to get them results so they're emotionally connected to the business. And it's a hell of a lot harder to quit when you just went through a 30-pound weight loss transformation versus you've got nothing emotionally connected to this. So I think that's why the challenge group's key. And I really want to, like, I'm going to make those Craig Holiday calls part of my new coach training, like start the first call as soon as they start. Because I don't know if you guys have listened to it, but after the first call, you'll be like, I need to do this whole business, because it's true. It's like, he just gets you so amped up and the belief is there. He's kind of like a tough love. So I'm going to put that as part of it. But I think focusing on the belief now and having that emotional connection more than ever is what I want to focus on. They'll lock them in a lot more.
No.
I love that. Like, I just recently, can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure before I ramble. I just recently, last month and this month, introduced personal development. I hadn't done that in my challenge groups before. Like, I had kind of posted a little bit and questions from it and stuff, but encouraged them to read or listen to, but had never like made it mandatory. And so this month I made it mandatory for them to order Compound Effect or You Are a Badass or Gifts of Imperfection. Those are the 3 I chose. And then I also made a weekly checklist. So I've got I think, Morgan, you do this now too, right? So I made a weekly checklist. I have prep and then 1, 2, 3 weeks, and I make them check off PD, Shako workout, random act of kindness, nutrition. And then I have a weekly reflection question. And then also on Sunday, I've written send progress pics and do the reflection question. So each week I've got, like, week 1 is, what is your why? Why did you start this journey? Week 2 is, what is one thing you can do this week that you couldn't do last? Week 2 is like, what is a challenge you've overcome? Or, so I'm trying to like continue to get them more emotionally connected, like you said. And today was day 2, I think, and I asked what their why was and like made them really dive into it. And it was crazy. Like, everybody's just pouring their souls onto this post. And I was just like smiling all day. I was reading these posts and I was like, okay, this is what I need to do every single time. Just get the feels going.
What I took away from that wall call, I think more so from Brigitte and Miguel, talking about being a little bit more spontaneous with your posts and not following a template, because I have templates galore. I have lots of templates, but I feel like I actually have a new challenge group starting May 30th. And I'm just kind of talking with my newer coaches that are apprenticing and posting in it. And I think I'm going to go that route and say, instead of focusing so hard on like, oh, what am I going to post tomorrow morning? Wake up and think, okay, or do it the night before, but just feed off what you learned from that day. What are you struggling with? What do you want to share with them as a coach or as a challenger or as a mother or as a wife? What do you think would help another woman? And so that's what I'm going to try and do this time. And I'm pretty like, I love my templates. I love copy and paste. I love like being able to just like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. But like you said, you want that emotional connection. So this round, I'll keep you guys posted and let you know how it goes, but I'm going to try and do like posts every morning because I wake up super early. So I know I'll always have time to think of something, but I'll have the night to like kind of mull it over and think about, okay, what do I want to post in the morning? So I'm going to give that a try. And, I might wake up, grab my coffee and do like a Facebook Live really early and then they can watch it after, or just something like that. I want it to be really spontaneous. I want to be present. I want to be there because that really struck a chord with me because I thought, okay, so you want to try something different and you've been using templates for 2 years, try not using templates, see what happens. So, and then make it less structured. Like obviously have little assignments for them to do, but just make it a really safe place for them to just share everything, share their journey, share whatever. That I'm going to give that a go.
I think that's awesome. Like I used to use Buffer, like especially when I was teaching, like I just found in the mornings, it was just like, I have no extra time for my computer to be slow. And it's like from 2009. So it's pretty old, but like I have no time to like let it load and copy and paste from my template. So then I stopped using Buffer and it's first of all made me get up earlier because I try to have my post sent before 6:30, and if I don't, whatever, like on Sunday I posted at like 9 or 10 or something and they're fine with it. But I found that the spontaneity thing is huge, like that, and I'll post like multiple times a day sometimes, and that's encouraging them to post like random selfies and recipes and stuff, to the point where now there's a few like repeat challengers and they do that themselves, so then I don't have to post as often because they're already like doing that behavior and encouraging the others to do that behavior.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that little bean is so cute. Oh, hi, buddy.
Oh my goodness.
He's so smiley, Colleen.
He's pretty smart.
I wonder where he gets that from.
Yeah.
And he has no clothes on but a diaper. So.
Classic. Okay. Does anybody else have any other like onboarding tips or any like questions that we could talk about on the subject of recruiting?
So I guess I can kind of go. I'm like 100% different than every single person on here, I guess, because I would say 90, if not more, % of my coaches have not been from my groups.
Wow. Okay.
They're all fresh new coaches. Everyone that I'm basically talking to, signing up, they're all basically starting just like me. So it makes a lot of sense, I guess, because that's how I started. So I'm connecting with people like me, and I don't see anything wrong with it because I was having people that were killing in my groups sign up as coaches and nothing. So, I mean, it can happen either way, truthfully. But it's also because I run my challenge groups a lot differently anyway. So how I run my challenge groups now are not how I would have them run them anyway. I have a fit community. It's one big group. I got the idea from Amy Silverman. It's partly to take a little bit of the stress off me. It's spontaneous post of the day, basically just sharing what I'm doing. I'm tying in a lot more live videos to talk about different topics, plug in resources and all kinds of things in there. I have the checklist in there as well. When my challengers come into a group, I send them a welcome email with a handbook, everything that would basically be in a pre-start week to help them get started right. So then they're welcomed in and they can just dive in there. The new people keep the old people more refreshed and kind of goes like that. And then I have on my checklist to check in with 2 challengers a day. And then I have a list of them. So then I can just kind of make notes and see who I've checked in with each day and just follow up with them and make sure things are going good. When it comes to my new coaches, I have a welcome email as well. And I have like a little form just to get to know them and get to know their goals, how much time they can spend on the business, what their objections and fears are, and basically like their personality type, what they're all about, so then I know how to help them better. And then I have a handbook, and I can screen share it. I have it pulled up, actually. I don't know if anybody's seen it or if I shared it anywhere. And I have, welcome in here. I have all my expectations. These are the things that I have the expectations in our team page as well, but just to make sure everybody sees them. So I have how to stay active, what Success Club is, everything from new coach training. And what I like about this is because you can have all the links below it for them to click on. I have all the steps, how to make links, how to kind of get everything set up, calls before, or I make them finish the training before we do a getting started right call. I don't want to be answering basic questions on that call. I want to be talking about these types of things. Where was it? Right here. So like why they're a coach. And I got this stuff actually from Becca, I believe. So just their top goals and why they're doing it. And then if they have questions for me, where to find the resources in our team pages, actually how I screenshotted how to navigate through their Coach Online office, what things are important, how to track their business as well as a daily tracker, how to make an announcement post with an example, a challenge group invite post, Facebook post. Like I put everything that I wanted to know as a new coach right in there, things that would be in the trainings as well, but stuff just to get them started off right as soon as possible. And I talk about going emerald right away. And even like a little challenge to kind of get them started. So I just put this one in here today. I followed suit from Morgan, and Morgan has like a new coach group, and I was doing new coach message threads with people that month, but it just wasn't working anymore. So I created a new coach group. I made a live video that I have pinned to the top, and I am saying once you've added they have to add themselves in there. I'm not adding them in there myself. If they want to be in there and they want to run, they're going to add themselves in. And then I just have like a new short video for them to kind of understand how it works. And then once they have hit Success Club consistently, once they are running challenge groups consistently every single month, once they are, what's the other one? I gave them some outlines. Once you're kind of being a consistent business leader, then you can get yourself out of this group and just like move on from it. But I wanted to have a place where I can make kind of more like new coach content and like dive into that and be able to make like videos directed towards new coaches rather than always be sharing the same new coach stuff in our big team page, because that's not beneficial to everybody else all the time. So that's what I'm always changing things. I see if it's working. If it's not working, I get rid of it and I toss it and I try new things all the time. But that's kind of what I'm going to start implementing. But I do notice 100%, like once Morgan kind of came back and she got refired back up, like I kind of started getting fired back up again. I was having like a whole like moment in my month. Like I kind of always have one like every month. And then I kind of poured more into them, doing more live videos. And I'm just trying to do those things every day as well. And I feel like that's going to give back more to them. So I don't know. I think it's just because I run my groups differently and because I have a big fit community. It doesn't run the same way anymore as how I would have, these people pushing for results. And then I would transfer them over into Sneak Peek. I run them so differently now. And the reason why I want to have this group is because it's creating more of a family. And I want people to feel okay with falling off and then not getting back on, like, because what I would have, and you might have this, is they fall off, but then they don't get it back on track until you start a group again and they go MIA. And I didn't want that anymore. I wanted them to be able to say, okay, yeah, I got off track, but this is an ongoing group and I'm going to get back on track tomorrow. So it's been working well, but I haven't been approaching them the exact same way, I guess, as I used to in converting my challengers into coaches. So I took some notes down on that though, and that is definitely somewhere I do want to focus again. But yeah, I've been getting all my coaches from not being in groups. So it's
love that. Autumn, I love that. This is so perfect timing, but I just got fired up from Chelsea Pearson's. She's got a bunch of YouTube videos, but she runs her challenge groups just like that too. And I remember hearing Amy Silverman saying, I don't run challenge groups anymore, I just have a fit community. And I was like, how the fuck do you not run challenge groups? Like, how do you not do that? But you still are like the top successful point earner every week. Amy Silverman is like top successful point earner. It's nuts. But she does the open group too. But Chelsea Pearson has a really awesome YouTube video called How to Run Challenge Group. And I listened to the other night, and because I was just feeling really like, I used to buffer my posts, so I'd like schedule them. And then like I was pretty active in there and trying to get people to participate in stuff. But sometimes it gets so much about the like, hey, who's not participating, that it kind of loses sight of the whole picture of like, man, you ate good today and drank your Shaco and you got a workout in, like, fuck yeah, good for you. And it takes away from that a little bit. So that's actually what I'm doing in June. I started this like team, whatever, community page for all my coaches to add their people. And if they want, I'm going to message you about that so we can chit chat.
Yeah. And I can send you my handbooks and stuff too that I have made up. And what I like about them on Google Docs too is you can always add and change them, but they're always still going to have the same link.
Yeah.
And in my handbook one, I have like shopping lists. I have like recipes and meal plans and everything. So then it kind of helps them get started.
For sure.
But that was the same thing. I was like getting so frustrated with, I can post them actually in the page so then everyone kind of have them. But I was getting so frustrated with watching who wasn't responding and who wasn't replying every day. And I was getting annoyed and like I lost my passion with the post, like the same post every single day. So I've reworked it a lot of different times. And like, this is working for my sanity. So then I also have the ability to work with my team, and I'm not always creating new groups and checking in and be like, do you want to come over into this group? And then getting upset if someone doesn't want to, you know, it was just too much for everybody. And I was having people saying that they were overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that they had to post every single day and my requirements. And I said, you know what, it's open. Like, this is a group. If you want to stay accountable, you're going to stay accountable. If you don't, then you don't. I'll check in with you. But that way I also can kind of see who is like moving forward and who, you know, would be a good coach, because they are posting a lot. So I don't know. It's working so far, but I have definitely a different route with my coaches. So
I'm thinking I've been testing that theory out with keeping an open group for the last like 3 groups. It's been Summer Strong. Yeah. And so it's the same thing, the same group. I've just been rolling it over and starting over. I'm just getting kind of like over the like daily posts, like the like, okay, so today we're going to do this. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with like hitting your goals. Like, and it annoys me. And they're like my posts, and they're things that I've been posting for years. And I'm just like, I don't want this anymore. I want to be like, I got my workout done. I got this in. Maybe one day, if it's like, maybe it'll be like Thoughtful Thursday, and every Thursday I'll do something like, okay, I want to hear like your heart. So I'm going to ask them like a really deep question. But other than that, like your workout, you know, whatever, that gets posted. But I just want to get back to basics and just be like spontaneous and not make it feel so like, I don't know, so much pressure to get an assignment done that maybe even they're thinking like, what does this have to do with me like getting abs? I don't know. So I've been doing the Summer Strong one, and for my next one, I'm going to open up just like an entire, like it will be the last one I open, the last challenge group I open. It'll be that one. I just don't know what to name it yet. So we'll see.
I felt the same way, and it's so nice because then they kind of all become friends, and then it's the same people, and if they want to leave, they can leave, but you don't have to keep re-adding and making new groups and deleting, and it was just getting to be way too much. And I just did like a video the other day, just live video about meal prepping and planning, just spontaneously about what it is that I do, and everybody can benefit, and it doesn't matter if they've fallen off, and then maybe they see that and they're like, oh dang, and then they start doing it again. So I'm liking it, and I think it's, especially as you're getting like, sorry, you go ahead, but just as long as you're kind of later in here, it's easier.
I was going to say, kind of like you said, how you always have new challengers coming in, new excitement every month. So something that those people are posting or sharing, or a transformation, might fire up someone who's just hanging out in the hallway, right? So I think that's a good idea, because otherwise, if you're starting new groups and people are getting kind of like left in the dust, and not being re-added, maybe they're too shy to ask again because they knew they failed the first time, but if at least they're watching in the corridor, they can be like, okay, I want to jump back in. And maybe that person will end up being a coach, right? So I think there's some value to having a long-term group for your challenges. And I think it's going to take a lot of stress off of you, because honestly, that's what I feel the most stressed about is like, okay, who's posting this week? What's happening? What are we doing? And I feel like the most inspiration comes from like a sweaty selfie and some meals, and that's what works for me.
Question, do you add people that just buy challenge packs, or if they just buy a program, you'll add them in there too?
I like very rarely have people just buy programs, but yeah, if someone buys a program, I'll still add them in. I'll word it though, saying like, I'm doing you a favor. Like typically I do not do this. I know that you have goals. I understand you have financial issues right now. But just know that there's other people in the group that had to be in here because they needed a challenge group, but I'm giving you kind of this one pass. So for right now, for my business where it's at, like I'm wanting to hit Success Club 10 every month. So if I could be a little bit more selective and a little more choosy, then I probably would. But at this point in my business, I don't feel like I want to turn anyone away because they might get a challenge pack down the road. So.
Well, and they might set up as a coach too. Like one of the things that I took away from Chelsea Pearson's is, and like I've experienced this, is some girls, they'll do like 2 or 3 challenge groups and then they're like, I want to go back to the gym, or I want to go do spin class for 2 or 3 months. And they're just like, see ya, like I don't want the commitment to challenge groups. So this way, if they're just in this fit community, they continuously see these posts and they're supported no matter what. It's not doing it. I'm not getting whatever. Like it's not doing me any disservice by helping them, right? Mm-hmm. And they can jump back on or whatever. Like I just had a girl, like she was in a like challenge group like a year ago. She signed up as a coach. She's quit as a coach, gone back to the gym for like 6 months, and now she's full circle. She's back in a challenge group again. And I'm for sure going to sign her up as a coach again. So I feel like if she was just in that fit group, she would have that constant support and she wouldn't have felt as like whatever it was, intimidated by the whole system or something.
Is that Kristen or Kristen Murray?
What?
Is that Kirsten or Kristen? No,
that's Haley. But like Kylie, she was like a challenger of my very first challenge group, and she finally signed up as a coach. And is like I've been asking her every month for a fucking year. And then also Nicole, she actually just signed up like cut and dry. She's never tried anything before, but she's like, just like how I messaged you, she's like, okay, I feel like shit. You look really happy and healthy. What are you doing? I want to do it. And I was like, yeah, let me show you the way.
Love those messages.
Yeah.
I really like that. I'm glad you shared that, Autumn.
Yeah, thank you.
Getting so tired of the groups too, and it's just like, and then when you have the new coaches, it's like, so you add them to this one so they can see it, but they haven't got any challengers, so you have to add them to the next one. Oh, they didn't get any challenge, to add them to the next one. Yeah, it's just.
And this way you can seasonally or like monthly change your cover photo. There, that's it. All you need to change.
The call's gonna end because I do not have. Yeah,
that cut goes off. It's good.
Just in case everybody knows. But Chris, like, this is so funny. Have you guys ever read Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire, Deepak Chopra? It talks about how like no idea is original, and everybody has had this idea, or everybody's gone through these experiences. So the fact that like 3 or 4 or 5 of us have all thought of these things, like Kirsten, I legitimately today was like, I could just change the cover photo every month. That's so fun. I could have an intention each month. And Autumn's like, I got a handbook, and I was like, I thought about that too. Like, what? Are you kidding me? We all thought about these things. That's so amazing. You guys are smart.
Well, I have a lot of notes.
Thank you. Okay. Does anybody want to say anything else? It's gonna cut off probably right away.
Thank you. Great topic.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you guys.
Awesome.
Always good. Okay. Have a wonderful night, and I'll upload it to YouTube and post it in the group ASAP.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.